Good morning, everyone. Hellbound Hero here. Today I'm going to be talking about how mental illness isn't being taken seriously. I know that it has gotten slightly better over the years, but there are still, problems with it. Like the high school that I went to, for example. If you were having a bad day or something, you had someone to talk to at the school, your counselor, and you could talk to them. But if you were feeling like you couldn't even concentrate in class, and you just couldn't deal, it's kind of just like you want to go home, but you can't. I feel like that should be taken more seriously because kids nowadays are having problems that aren't being addressed, like depression and anxiety and all of that. And of course there are going to be some people who say oh, it's not that bad, just get over it. Okay, I am going to put it into perspective for you. If someone has depression, for example, and someone says, oh, just get over it, you're basically telling a blind person, look harder. You can't do that. Well, of course you can, but it's not fair to them, because they don't see the way out. They need help, and yet it's being disregarded. And with schools, if you cough in class or something like that, if you get sick, oh, you're sick, go home. But if someone legitimately has a mental illness and they are having problems and they want to go home, that's not taken seriously. Oh, you have 10 exams this week, 10 assignments today. You don't have the time. But if someone's sick, it's go home, take care of yourself. When the brain is just as important as your body, and it just frustrates me to high heaven, cause I feel like I'm just beating a dead horse. I do. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse because people should know this by now. This should be being handled, but it's not. Deep breath. Deep breath. It's just that take it seriously, because with me, of how I think about it, if someone is not able to take the stress of school and having 10 exams that week and having to do all these exams and do all this homework, and they don't have time to calm down about it, and they just freak out and they stress about it, and if they have depression or something like that, it could make it worse. I've known people of where they've had mental illnesses, like depression, and they got so stressed over their homework and tests and everything like that they actually thought that if they left, it would be better. And of course that's not the way to go. And I just felt so bad for them because school was making their lives worse, along with this mental disease. And yet there are people going around oh yeah, mental illness is nothing, it's just a mindset, get over it. Basically with depression, it's like a chemical imbalance in your head. You can't just get over it. You can't. You need legitimate medicine, and you need legitimate help. But people are just too ignorant to understand that. I'm sorry. I'm also sorry if I sound like legitimately mad right now. It's just stuff like this just gets me like so worked up. Gets me so worked up, and because it's not a game. It's not. Just people out there, open your minds, please. Just open your minds and let stuff in. Because this isn't going to get better if we just stay the same. Like, pulling a history example right now. Martin Luther King. If he didn't stand up, people, their lives would not have gotten better. We would still be in the mindset of that black people are not worth anything. Which, by the way, they are. They're worth a whole lot. With Martin Luther King, if he did not stand up and do something about how his race was being treated, they would most likely be still being treated the same. So if we don't like stand up with this, with like mental illness and all that, I feel like that it will just be the same, and no one is going to like get help. And everyone's going, and people with illnesses will still hide it, and that's not good for them, because then because like with depression, it's going to get worse, and they're just going to think, oh, I don't matter to anyone, I'm just going to kill myself, kind of thing, of wanting the pain to stop. And if we don't take action in this generation, it's not going to get better. And it should. Serious talk, though. Like, we need to make a stand. We need to make a stand and make this better. I know I'm like repeating myself at times too, but it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Just beat the dead horse. Beat the dead horse. Oh my god. I've been ranting for about 9 minutes now. I think that's enough. Like, yeah, I should end the video here. Seriously though, make a stand. Us as a generation, make a stand. Hellbound Hero signing off. I'll see you in my next video.